I come from Angeltown, South London. 9 older sisters. There's 5 boys altogether. I've got a dad, but my mum had a child with her next partner, and we used to go to the pub. I used to always have something in my jacket pocket that I weren't allowed to, like when we're leaving the house, don't put your hand in that pocket. And obviously, being a little boy, you go to the pub toilet with your brother and you take out all the, and it looked like jewels to me because crack was wrapped in foil them days, so it was silver like foil around it. And I have all of these little jewel things, you understand what I'm saying? It was a big secret, I was fascinated. I was with a few of my cousins. We just came back from the adventure playground. We sat down, no one was at my cousin's house. We was all sitting there. He took out a box of Rizzlers. So I was like, what are you doing? He said, I'm rolling a spliff like his mum does. So I was like, okay, do you know how to do it? He goes, yeah, it's easy. You got the cigarette, you got the Rizzler. You went back outside onto he had this little, this is on Angeltown, so it's just balconies that we got. So he had this little balcony, and it's got this little grass thing that you plant whatever you're planting there, and he had just normal grass in there. He pulled the grass out, he came back in, he laid the grass on top of the Rizzler and he rolled it. And he told me grass was weed, grass, I don't know where he got it from, a film or whatever, but that was my first situation of smoking drugs, as I thought we were smoking weed. I got my first gun at the age of 14. I bought a sawn-off shotgun. I didn't even know how to fire it at first. We had to go and test it in a park, in Brockwell Park. This was a path to destruction. At the time, this is how I'm going to protect my money. I want to come out of these high-tech and these Dunlop and move on to Nike and Adidas. You get power when you got a gun. No matter how much muscles I've got right here, sitting down here, I can't feel stronger than having a gun in my hand. I don't feel like I'm a danger, even though I know that the drugs that I sold cause misery. I live by the rule that people don't sell drugs. Drugs sell themselves. I knew a man named Simon. I was introduced to him by a mutual friend. He wanted to buy a bit of rock from me. He had a nice house, he had 2 children, his wife. One day I was going into a summer field and he was sitting outside with a board, in a sleeping bag. And I went in there and I was with my missus, and I'll never forget this. I walked past him going into the shop, and I didn't even realise who he was. I just walked past him, went into the shop, did his shopping. But my missus said to me, oh, why was that man looking at you like that? And I looked back and I thought, I don't know. I had one of my little girls with us as well. And then I looked at him and I realised, Simon. And he was like, yeah, how you doing? I was like, oh, how you doing? How's your missus? And then he told me about losing his wife and the whole spiral of his drug got out of control. He lost his job. On the way walking back, my daughter was saying to me, where do you know that she calls them crazy men? Because he lives on the street, she thinks he's crazy. She don't know that what's happened to him. So she said, where do you know that crazy man from? And I said, oh, that's one of Daddy's old friends. And she looked at me like, you got friends who are crazy men. But what she don't know, that he was reaching out. He wanted me to shake his hand and stuff like that, but I can't do that. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? My child's with me, I've got to explain to my child why I'm talking to this man after. Then my missus is getting on my back for talking to people like that. And really, I wanted to say, do you know how good this man used to be? When I get out of it, I'm gonna try and be legal. That's what I'm going to do when I get out. I now know that in myself that I'm going to do that, but I do know the temptations. The temptations they're gonna come thick and fast. I'm used to making £1,000 a day, minimum. 4 hours. I'm used to making that type of money. My missus is saying she worked for London Underground. They're looking for people. They're paying £600 a week. When she said that to me, I was like, oh no, that's crap. I'm not doing that. But she was like, no, that's good money. That money will be good. £600 a week. That will be good money. And then I went back to my cell and I was thinking about it. And I was thinking, damn, that's what I'm really gonna have to be accepting. If I have to ask for forgiveness, I have to ask for it from my partner and my children. All my oldest daughter wanted was more attention from me. She didn't want all the brat dolls and all of those sort of things, and I weren't giving her the things that, I was giving her what I thought would make her happy. I weren't giving her what would make her happy. So me now coming to prison and sitting down and thinking about things, having letters from me to my children writing back to me, it's made me realize that maybe I had the wrong goals. Maybe my way of getting those goals, I weren't going about them the right way. To forgive, where we come from, is a very weak thing. You're looked at as someone that someone else can walk over when you forgive, and you turn the blind eye to this and turn the blind eye to that. But then doing the forgiveness course and hearing some people's problems and hearing what other bad things have happened to some other people, real bad things, do you understand what I'm saying to you? And then hearing them saying that they forgive somebody, it just made me think that, damn, that person's strong, innit?